let me know. I have friends.
Yeah. I can't be stranded and I know Santi.
Yeah, you'll be okay. You're a survivor.
Okay,
Sure.
great.
You tell him.
Now let me get the call.
This is okay, like this?
Yes.
This doesn't.
Oh, it's easy. We just
Yeah, that's better.
That's better.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
happily.
Whose idea was it?
Mine. To do Santi's interview. Me. Yes, I was bragging about you in the office.
Good memories.
It always is. Because like the last time I was checking, when I think Santi, I remember, first of all, your Harry Potter wand. That was day one. I got myself one now.
You went to Disney?
No, I had a friend in the UK, and then they were like, I know this is a shock you'll enjoy. I was like, just get me up one. I don't care from here. Just walk in, you've watched Harry Potter, whatever you think, whatever you see and think of me, get me that one. Then came back with it, and I was like, okay, well, they got me Dumbledore's wand.
That's the one I have,
Yeah, no, we're twins.
the elder one.
Yes.
We are twins.
So I got the elder one and a small Gryffindor bag.
Nice.
Hi, ready? Okay, great. So we'll do a small round of introductions. So what is your name?
My name is Santi.
Santi.
Santi Legare.
Yes. So my name is Tiffany Magua, a former student of yours in SLS.
I remember you, Tiffany.
I hope so. I really do hope so.
I remember you sitting in the back to my right in the last row.
True. But at least I tried moving forward as years passed by.
Mm-hmm.
So just going to have a small conversation about why, who you are, what exactly you do in Strathmore, and just pick it up from there.
Let's go ahead.
Okay, great. So you've told us your name is Santi. What do you do in Strathmore?
So I've been lecturing in Strathmore for 13 years this year. I've come roughly 6 weeks every year since 2012.
Okay, great. What do you teach?
Well, I've taught all sorts of things at the law school and at the business school, but they all hinge around ethics, philosophy of law, business ethics, law and religion, those kinds of things.
Okay, great.
You remember any, I hope?
Yes, I do remember very interesting classes. So at least that far we're good.
Good.
Okay, so what the conversation we want to have today is about you being a mentor and a friend to a lot of your students. So the first thing I think people want to know is, what is Santi?
Santi,
Santi.
as in
yes.
Santea.
Yes.
Well, someone said one day it was tea with Santi. Santi. Well, Santi is a forum for past students who would like to keep in touch with their lecturer, that would be me, and a lecturer who would like to keep in touch with his past students. So a couple of them organize, and we meet while I'm here. Let's say we meet every 2 weeks. I'm still to see you there, by the way. So we meet, for the most part, we've met here at Strathmore. The place we used the most was the so-called Shoe Shiners Lawn in Phase 1. And we chat for 1 hour in the evening, typically from 6, about life and about the expectations of the students having to do with academic things like study abroad, work experiences abroad. And they asked me about my own experience, how can I help them, that kind of thing.
Okay. So why do you think it's important that not only do you maintain relationships with you as a mentor, but also you as a friend? Because sometimes you just have conversations that don't even include, career growth. So why do you think that's important for, yourself and us?
Well, I guess for you and the likes of you, I don't want to speak for you. I only know that people, they seem to have like a necessity of conversation about such things, about the future, and I am there for them. When I'm here on campus, I'm there in person, but during the year, I receive so many emails, requests. Like I've done so many recommendation letters that I can't remember how many, for people who have been to wonderful places, Stanford, Oxford, Cambridge, NYU. That's for them. Although sometimes, Tiffany, they also talk about more personal things, their families, their relationship with their parents, their siblings, and I'm happy to be a listening ear. And for me, the way I see it, for me, my life as a mwalimu doesn't finish in the classroom. I wouldn't consider myself fulfilled and happy if I don't go further afield. So in my case, you could say it's also a necessity. For me to be happy, I need to do that. And for that to happen, the students have to need it. So it's like a point of meeting.
Okay, that's lovely to hear. So what would we say is one of the highlights of being a mentor and a friend to your students and past students?
I would say the main highlight is to enjoy the trust that you certainly don't deserve. I feel this many times. Why is this person sharing with me such an important thing? So I feel very honored.
Okay. Could we know what are one of your biggest highlights in this mentoring journey?
I would say on the one end, to keep company to people who are going through a rough patch, for example, because they graduated but they're not employed. Again, to go for a lunch with them and talk to them and offer support. That's a highlight. And another highlight is when I manage to help them get a job and then the employer calls me to tell me you should be proud of your student, which has happened to me more than once.
Okay, that's pretty good to hear. Okay, so now one last question. We have so many students who are like, you're one of the lecturers they enjoy meeting whenever you're around. So why do you think it's important at least to keep those connections with the different alum?
Well, for me, those connections, they tell me that I am alive. They are like a measure of how alive I am. I send, as you know, to a list that I have of past students in which you are, called the list of Buendia. I send them news about my whereabouts. And for example, someone receives my email where I said I'm giving a lecture in New York, and the person receives that in Nairobi, and they take advantage of that communication to share with me that they're getting married, that they had a baby, that they've been admitted to a master's degree, and I really feel those things. They're important for me.
Okay, lovely. So this is a bit off topic, but still on brand. The alumni community. Why do you think it's also important for alum to come together? Because you don't only talk to your research students. The list of Buendia is all alumni you've taught, past and recent. So why do you think that's important to bring all of them together?
Well, for the institution, of course, those past alumni are going to be the ones that feed the university with their next students. Like last Friday, a couple in the pioneer class had me over and they told me they're going to have a baby, and we were already discussing about Strathmore for that baby who hasn't been born yet. That's from the point of view of the institution. From my own point of view, I simply cannot conceive of the notion that if I met you in what year, 2019?
Yes.
In 2019, and I taught you Introduction to Law then, that will be it. For me, you will always be Tiffany Maigua, and I'm interested in how the story continues, and I hope you will also be interested in mine, and you and so many others.
Yes, of course. Yeah, so now one last thing. For anyone looking for a mentor and a friend within the institution, how do you think they go about it?
Well, in this school, students are very lucky that they will be offered mentors and mentoresses, and I think that's one first level. They tell you there is a name and you talk to this person, but I advise very much to everyone to have their eyes open and be spontaneous and approach the lecturers they feel like they would click with. For example, my benches outside the student center. There are so many lecturers you can see there. Just come and talk to them. Several people did that with me, and I think it's a good idea.
Okay, great. So now the last thing we're going to do is just look into the which camera do you have to look into your camera and tell people Connect is coming up, and you're very welcome. Or invite them to connect, however you will.
And guys, it's been a pleasure being here. And I very much invite you to connect and to follow us and to like this wonderful interview that Tiffany did. Karibuni.
Yay! You see, that was it.
We did well.
Yes, we did.
I managed to make you laugh one time with the baby.